Jared, to be here and to see all of you. I am also very honored to have the pleasure of introducing a longtime friend of mine, someone that I am proud to have called my friend for more than 20 years. Can you believe that? And that's because my friend Jared Polis has been involved in fighting for us over the past couple of decades. And he's the kind of guy that has always been a problem solver, right? Yeah. And when he sees a problem, he solves it because he's out of the box. He's an out-of-the-box thinker. You know, he's somebody that when he sees that something needs to get done, he gets it done. When he was chair of the State Board of Education, that he was elected to, as you know, served in that position statewide, he went out and he started 2 new schools: the Academy for Urban Learning for homeless kids, and the New America School for new immigrants and kids that are in need, are educationally disadvantaged. Jared, we all know him, right? We're going to support him and he'll go all the way to be governor because he's an authentic vote leader, right? And you know, our friend Jared brings the whole package with him. My goodness, he's been a successful business person, right? He's been a successful legislator, right? And he's been a successful education leader, right? And he's the man that we need. He's the person that we need as governor of the state of Colorado, right? Help me welcome Elise Jones to the mic, because she's going to say a few words too.
Welcome everybody. What a great crowd. My name's Elise Jones and I'm one of the Boulder County Commissioners. I think it's fair to say we have a bit of an abundance of riches when it comes to Democratic candidates for governor, but I am proud and I'm excited and I'm honored to be here today to introduce and endorse Jared to be our next governor. And I'm really basing that largely on what he's done for the environment and what he's gonna do for the environment. I've known Jared for almost 20 years now. We started together on the board of Colorado Conservation Voters to elect pro-environment decision makers. And it's there, yeah, that's what it's about, right? I learned firsthand there how smart he is, how politically savvy he is, how he's willing to invest in his values, and mostly how deep his commitment to the environment runs. And we can count on that, right? And we've worked together since he's been in Congress on a number of issues. And why I want to support Jared today is because we need our next governor to be somebody that doesn't just occasionally do something for the environment. We need an environmental champion. Right? We need somebody who understands these issues and who will lead on them. And Jared is that candidate. I'll give you 3 examples of where he has taken the lead as a member of Congress. He knows that our economy and our quality of life is linked to protecting our public lands here in Colorado. Yes, he's been a leader on trying to protect more wilderness land, more land for outdoor recreation ever since he got elected. He's got a bill, the Continental Divide Wilderness and Recreation Act, that would help protect more than 60,000 or nearly 60,000 acres on the West Slope. Right? We need more of that kind of leadership for our public lands. Jared has been a leader of local control over oil and gas, and we all know that's a tough issue. And we've got more to do on it, but Jared has been more active on that issue than anybody else in the Colorado delegation, hands down. He's been in the trenches with us, fighting to put public safety and the environment before drilling. And we thank you for that. And last but certainly not at all least, he gets that climate is the burning issue of our generation. He's the vice chair of the Sustainable Energy and Environment Caucus back in Congress. He's been championing closing loopholes for the fossil fuel industry, putting a price on carbon. He gets it, and he's made renewable energy a priority platform for his governor's race. And that's what we need. So I am delighted to introduce to you your next governor of Colorado, Jared Polis.
Thank you, Polly and Elise. Polly, you've been such a wonderful friend and mentor, and also your time you've spent as the founding board member of New America School and former chair. Elise, I've enjoyed fighting those battles with you, and as you know, we don't fight those for political reward. We fight them because they're the right things to do, and they're not easy. Thank you all for joining us. I want to ask I don't want to, I'm going to miss them if I name them, so if our office holders, those who are in public office, could raise their hands, let's give our office holders in the room a round of applause and appreciation for their hard work on behalf of our communities. You know me pretty well, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about my background and some of the things you may or may not know. So my parents moved to Boulder in 1970. My dad had gotten his PhD in physics. Because of that, he got a deferral from the draft, so he didn't have to serve. He was active in SDS, as was my mom back in the Vietnam War days. My mom was a school teacher in New Jersey. So they moved out here, and after a few years working at NOAA, the federal lab, which brought my parents here, they decided to risk everything and leave their day jobs to pursue their passions. My father is an artist, my mother as a poet. And they traveled around the country in a pickup truck, selling their posters out of the back, and they were able to start a small family company, Blue Mountain Arts, still here in Boulder with 50 employees today. I'm so proud of my mom and dad. So I grew up in a household that wasn't necessarily political in the Democratic or Republican sense, but was activist, right? We talked about preventing nuclear disarmament. We talked about facilitating nuclear disarmament. We talked about the environment. We talked about causes, right? So it was no surprise that I wanted to get involved with making the world a better place. In college, I started my first company, an internet access provider called American Information Systems. I also started several others, proflowers.com, and I helped take our family company online, bluemountain.com, which we later sold. I was honored to have been a part of creating hundreds of good-paying jobs. And one of the things that we always did in the companies that I started, and I'm going to champion as your next governor, is employee ownership. We're going to make sure that it's not just the investors and the executives that do well, but the workers that do well. Through stock options, through stock grants, through ESOPs, and through co-ops, all of these different mechanisms we have, we're going to create a culture in Colorado, just like many of our craft brewers are employee-owned, just as in the tech industry, many of them use stock options. We want this to be the norm in Colorado. We did our Colorado Springs announcement today at a grocery store. Many of you remember, longtime Boulder residents, you remember Levers? They used to be on 30th. Actually, one of my partner Marlon's first jobs was a bagger at Levers. So that company today, Levers, is employee-owned. It wasn't then, but it became employee-owned about 5 years ago. So in Colorado Springs, there's a Levers Save-A-Lot market, 100% employee-owned, owned by the cashier, owned by the butcher, owned by the assistant manager. So as the company does well, the employees do well with it, and there was a lot of excitement in Colorado Springs about that today, and we're going to take that vision statewide. I started the morning in Pueblo, Colorado, and let me tell you, Pueblo is really at the heart of the green jobs that can't be outsourced revolution. I'm running on a bold plan for renewable energy. Let me ask you, my friends, is 30% renewable energy enough?
No!
Is 50% enough?
No!
Is 75% enough?
No!
I'm running on a bold plan for 100% renewable energy by 2040 in Colorado. And our friends in Pueblo, their city council has already adopted 100% by 2035 as their goal. Boulder has a goal, many other municipalities do. Aspen, Colorado already has 100% renewable energy. With the absence of leadership from Washington on climate and environmental justice issues, it falls to states and counties and cities. And as your governor, I will make sure that Colorado leads the way in the renewable energy future. And I think you all know my dedication to education. Polly talked about that. I served on the State Board of Education. I've co-chaired and supported so many mill levies and bonds across our state. I co-chaired one of BVSD's. I founded 2 schools to serve at-risk kids. And one of the things that's always been frustrating to me, watching it as a congressman, watching it as a state board member, is how in our state, for years, politicians have talked about preschool and kindergarten. Well, I think the time for talk is over, and what I'm committing to you is within 2 years, I'm going to bring together the stakeholders, the business community, educators, Democrats, and yes, even many Republicans, to go to the ballot to finally deliver on free preschool and kindergarten across every community in our state. Not only, and thanks to our friends in the back, if people could take a couple steps forward, we'll make a little more room for some of our friends that are trying to get in the room. It's a good problem to have. You know, in planning these things in politics, you never want a room that's too big, but you also don't want one that's far too small or your supporters wander away. So we want to make room for as many people as we can. One of the things that we, not only is early childhood education, have an amazing benefit for families in terms of being the most important educational years, preschool and kindergarten. And for those of you who are new to the state who don't know, we only have half-day kindergarten and no free preschool unless you're very low income, then you get free preschool. But if you're middle class or working family, you don't get free preschool, you only get half-day kindergarten. States like Oklahoma and Georgia, free preschool and kindergarten, right? We need to do that here in Colorado. The most important years for a child educationally, and I can say that as the father of a almost three-year-old and a 5-year-old, we're seeing that every day, are those early years. Kids need to enter first grade ready to learn, right? In addition to that benefit, this is important for working families. When you have somebody who's deciding if they can go back to work, or they can work half-time or full-time because they don't have childcare at home, when they're trying to find the cheapest daycare rather than the best daycare for their child, as many families have to do in our state, that's the reason that we need preschool and kindergarten in every community across our state. And with your help, we're going to get it done. This is going to be an exciting campaign across the state. We need your help in every part of our state to get the vote out in June and November of next year. Everybody's going to get mail-in ballots. It's the first election where even in the primary, unaffiliated voters are going to get ballots too, so we're going to take our message to them. And unaffiliated independent voters are every bit as excited about renewable energy in preschool and kindergarten as we are as Democrats. I'm sure there's a few who are Democrats in the room. We want your support too. So we need your help. Hopefully you're signed up. We're limiting contributions to $100. I hope that over time some of you can do that and help. We're also looking to have house parties across the entire state. So many of you might live in this neck of the woods. We're not going to be doing as many here, but we're going to be in El Paso County. We're going to be in Mesa County. We're going to be in Pueblo County. We're going to be in Yuma County. We're going to be in Denver and Arapahoe and Jeffco. We're going to be all over the state making sure that we can present this bold, progressive vision to excite and motivate people not only to vote, but to rise to the occasion and show the leadership we need on climate, on education, on an economy that works for everybody. I will be honored with your help to be your next governor. Thank you.